Have you ever noticed how fast time goes by when you are waiting for the perfect moment? You tell yourself, I will start next week, or I just need a little more confidence. But next week becomes next year, and suddenly, you are still standing in the exact same place. Most people do not fail because life is too hard. They fail because they never actually begin. They get trapped in a loop of overthinking and excuses, while life quietly moves on without them. If you are tired of waiting and ready to change your life, you are in the right place. Today, I want to share a story about a boy named Ion. He lived in a small, quiet village where everyone did the exact same thing every single day. They woke up early, worked hard in the muddy fields, earned just enough to survive, and went to bed exhausted. Ion's father was a hard-working farmer with rough hands and old clothes. Ion respected him deeply, but inside, he was terrified. He did not want his life to be a repetitive loop. He sat by the river every evening, dreaming of building something meaningful. He wanted a bigger life, but fear always held him back. Whenever he wanted to try something new, he would overthink it until he gave up. His dreams stayed trapped inside his head. One sunny afternoon, everything changed. Ion saw an old man trying to push a heavy wooden cart down a deeply muddy road. The wheels were stuck, sinking into the earth. The old man would push with all his strength, move just an inch, stop to breathe, and then push again. Ion walked over and said, "Why are you doing this all alone? This road is far too difficult. Why don't you just wait until someone comes to help you?" The old man stopped, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and looked directly at Ion. He smiled and said, "If I waited for perfect conditions, this cart would never move." That simple sentence shook Ion to his core. He couldn't sleep that night. He realized that this was exactly what he was doing with his own life. He was waiting to feel completely ready. He was waiting for his fear to magically disappear. But the truth is, life never gives you certainty first. You have to move first, and then the path clears up. The next morning, Ion asked his father, "When you first started farming, were you confident?" His father laughed and said, "Not at all." Ion asked, "Then how did you learn?" His father placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "By working badly at first. The first time I planted crops, most of them died. The first time I went to the market, people cheated me. But if I had stopped because of those mistakes, we wouldn't even have this house today." Ion realized a beautiful truth. Every expert was once a beginner. Every skilled person started out terrible. The only difference is that they did not stop. A few days later, Ion gathered his courage and walked up to the village carpenter. He had always admired the man's work, but had been too scared to ask for help. With shaking hands, he asked, "Can you teach me woodworking?" The carpenter asked, "Do you have any experience? Do you know how to use the tools?" Ion honestly replied, "No, but I am tired of being afraid to start." The carpenter smiled and told him to come back the next morning. Ion was terrified, but he showed up. And at first, he was absolutely terrible. He cut the wood unevenly, dropped heavy tools, and made countless mistakes. One afternoon, he accidentally ruined a beautiful chair the carpenter had spent hours building. Ion braced himself for anger, but the carpenter just said calmly, "Good. Now you will remember this mistake forever. People who are too afraid to make mistakes never learn anything valuable.
Months passed, and Ion's hands grew steady. His cuts became clean, and his confidence grew. But his mindset changed even more than his skills. He stopped expecting instant success and started respecting slow progress. One evening, he asked how people become truly great. The carpenter picked up a smooth piece of wood and said, "This became smooth because it was cut, shaped, and polished many times. Without pressure, it would just be a rough log." Life works the same way. Difficulties shape us. Years later, Ion became the most respected craftsman in the region. People traveled from miles away to buy his handmade furniture. When a young boy came to his workshop and asked for the secret to his success, Ion looked at his tools and said, "I stopped waiting. Most people waste years waiting to feel ready, but readiness comes after you start, not before." If I had waited to feel confident, I would still be sitting by the river. Life does not destroy your dreams overnight. It destroys them slowly through delay, through tomorrow, and through excuses. We tell ourselves we will start tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes next year, and we end up preparing for a moment that never comes. A child only learns to walk by falling down. A craftsman only learns by breaking wood. Growth is deeply uncomfortable. Being a beginner is uncomfortable, but staying stuck forever is far more painful than the discomfort of trying. I used to do the exact same thing. I had so many ideas, but I kept them locked away for months because I was waiting for the perfect timing. And do you know what happened while I waited? Absolutely nothing. The day I finally decided to just start, even though I was nervous, even though I didn't know what I was doing, that was the day things finally started to change. You cannot think your way into confidence. You have to act your way into it. If there is something you have been delaying, do not wait for the right moment. It is not coming. This imperfect, scary moment right now is your only moment. Start anyway. Start badly if you have to, but start. If this story touched your heart, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me bring more inspiring stories to you. Thank you for listening, and remember, stop waiting and take that first step today.